Let's preview this Nebraska-Colorado game, the second half of a home and home. This was a big one last year. Now, both teams are going to come in 1-0. Dylan Raiola looked good for Nebraska in his first start. Nebraska rushed for over 200 yards, which that's an interesting stat line for me in this game coming up here with Colorado's defensive front. But, guys, give me a solid preview for this game from each of you.
Question, Jake, real quick. Who's the more fragile fan base, Colorado or Nebraska?
Oh, I think it's Colorado just because it's so new. Like,
can we separate Colorado fans from Deion Sanders fans, though?
Same thing, David. Same.
No, I don't think Colorado fans and Deion Sanders fans, there's a Venn diagram, I think, where they overlap.
It's like
possibly.
a food chart.
But there are some Colorado fans now who only care about Deion Sanders.
David, you know what it's like right now for Colorado? It's like Chris Farley on Tommy Boy. When he's talking about he's got the roll and he's like, you got this new puppy and you just love it. You just love it. You squeeze him, you hold him, and so, oh my God, get his head off. Like, it's
sure could use those chicken wings.
Yeah, it's Nebraska. They've got like a Labrador that's like 14 years old. Like, he was really good when he was 2 and 3. They're just they're going to be there no matter what. If they've made it through the darkness this long, I don't think the fragility is there. But with Colorado, it's so new, it still feels like he can go either way. But as far as this game, when you look at it, the Nebraska run, everybody's going to be talking about Dylan Raiola and Shedeur Sanders. And I get it. That makes a ton of sense. It's going to get a lot of clicks. Obviously, they're the quarterbacks. They're super important. But this Nebraska run game, I think, is going to decide this game because it does two things. And we kind of talked about this a little bit earlier. And I know Matt Rule, even though he's got some nice new pieces to work with on the outside, a quarterback that can not only catch a snap, but deliver a good ball, you need to keep that Colorado offense on the sideline for as long as possible because I think it's their only hope. Because this Nebraska offense, at least against UTEP, and I know it's UTEP, but you can watch guys run around, whether it's Banks, whether it's Nair. They got some guys that can really take the top off. I know Colorado's got Travis Hunter at corner and some other guys, but the ability for Nebraska to go over the top now, I think, adds a much different element than what this Colorado team had to face last year. But when I watched the Nebraska run game, They look even more physical up front. Again, I know it's UTEP, but they were very efficient. They were on schedule the whole time. They were able to hit UTEP in multiple ways. Dylan, it looks to me like it's not too fast right now, and I don't think Colorado's defense is good enough to make it look fast. And I think Colorado's going to play a lot of man in this game. They're going to play a lot of man in this game. You're got to make two choices. Either I'm going to load the box up and stop the run and be skinny on the outside and see if Dylan Raiola can beat me, or you're going to have to try and play it even and see how balanced Nebraska can be. Colorado offensively, Tony White had a great plan for him last year. I thought his plan against Colorado was fantastic. He kept a lot in front, and I think Nebraska's more athletic on the D-line this year. I mean, you look at Ty, you look at Butler. I think there's guys that can not only get back there, but get Shedeur on the ground. North Dakota State had some guys that could get back there, but they couldn't do anything when they got back there. Shedeur just had them beat at birth. So if you're Colorado, you're going to do what you do. You're going to take shots. You're going to get the ball outside. I think Jimmy Horn is the guy to keep an eye on in this game. Everybody's talking about Travis Hunter. Tony White is going to try and do whatever he can to take Travis Hunter out of this game. So it's going to have to be Horn. It's going to have to be Westrom, and they're going to have some semblance of a run game. Because, I mean, Blaine, I think Matt Rule may just sit on this thing if the run game's working and just go play action and let Dylan eat.
And quickly before, first of all, Jake, that's beautiful analysis. And David, I can't wait for yours. I got time today for people in the chat. I'm not, whatever holiday it is, I got time. Corey Timmons, SEC. No, let's talk about Deion Sanders again. Like, Jesus Christ, man. I thought we're here to talk SEC.
We just did.
We just talked about it for an hour and a half. An hour and a half, Corey. You figure it out. And you're lucky I can't say certain things on here, buddy. I got time today.
Yeah, like we just spent the first portion of the show talking about is this overrated?
More.
What, man? Here we go. Yeah, let's talk about Alabama A&M and Auburn. That'll be great. Let's break that one down. That was great.
Good God. Go ahead, David, before I break everything in my apartment.
No, you go ahead, man. This game is also at a full touchdown right now. So -7 Nebraska, and the over-under is 57.5.
Probably not a game I'm going to bet.
At all?
Me neither.
No. What's the over-under? What was the total again?
57.5.
That seems high to me, to be honest. If I do bet anything, this game is probably going to be the under. This is an interesting game. I think this This game's going to be very close, one possession. The Shedeur Sanders, Dylan Raiola matchup is all I'm here to see, brother. This is all I believe. Raiola, the more he plays, is it just me, or does he have little mannerisms of Patrick Mahomes?
He does.
Well,
he really does.
He has
it's not
little
just looking
mannerisms.
It's like
and he's
a
doing
lot
it
of
on
the
purpose.
three-quarter off-platform stuff in the pocket.
The way he
it
moves
reminds me-
around.
It's called athletic goofiness.
Yeah, right? No, I agree with that. But I do think at the end of the day, you look at this game and you look after week one, Colorado played pretty damn good against that North Dakota State team on both sides of the football. But I lean Nebraska in this game because I just trust their defense more. With the starters and the production they're bringing back on defense, your quarterback can take a snap now. You look good in the running game, and you do have enough pieces outside of receiver to make plays. Colorado's going to put up points. Their skill position, Shadeur's an absolute dog. We know what Travis Hunter is. But I do think Nebraska can get more stops than Colorado's defense can.
Like Shedeur Sanders, and when you start talking about Travis Hunter and Jimmy Horn and all these guys, like they really are going to keep Colorado in a lot of games where they have no business being it. Now, I'm not saying Nebraska is one of those games because, again, Nebraska, like y'all got to show it to me too. And Dylan Raiola is going to be making his second start. I get all that, but those skill positions are going to keep Colorado in a lot of games they shouldn't be in. And honestly, they did that last year. But when I see, 223 yards rushing for Nebraska, I know it's against UTEP. But again, I just feel like Nebraska is going to be able to feast on the ground. And it looks like Dylan Raiola, if Colorado wants to load the box, then the play action behind that, the moment didn't look too big for this kid. So I don't know. We could be in for a shootout. Let's see. I'm interested to see too, how far is Nebraska going to take the play clock down? Because like I said, North Dakota State was snapping the ball against Colorado sometimes with 20 seconds left on the clock. That. Best believe you wouldn't have seen a team that I was coaching do that, because every 3 plays then is an extra minute you could keep Shedeur Sanders on the sidelines. They didn't do that. I wonder if Nebraska is just going to line up and say, no, we'll snap it whenever because we think we're better than you and we're just going to beat you all game. Or do they get a little conservative and say we're going to take the play clock down and keep that offense on the sideline?
Yeah. Well, the coolest thing about this game is this is the who got better bowl. Right. For we feel like both these teams are better than they were last year, but who got better than the other one? And I just feel like Nebraska with that home field advantage right now. I look at them up front, right, on the defensive line and the offensive line, because that is where the game is won and lost. That's what makes this matchup so fascinating, because we're looking at parallel tracks here, and they will now play each other for 2 years in a row.
Can I ask y'all this? I want to get y'all's take on this. This kind of reminds me of the Billy Napier, Mario Cristobal, Florida-Miami matchup. I know it's not in state, but I think both these games are very important for both these coaches.
Yeah, it's a trajectory game.
It's a trajectory game, right? And I think all the belief has been put in Matt Rule, and I think that's the right place to put it. All the belief has been put in Deion Sanders. Both year 2, both quarterbacks are dogs. This game could be could it be detrimental for one, or could it be okay if they do lose it?
Yeah,
the stakes feel lower, right?
Yeah.
The stakes feel a little bit lower, just because Matt Rule can at least say, even if they lose by 3 touchdowns, he could at least say, well, I just got the highest rated recruit who's starting as a true freshman. We're going to be fine here down the road. And again, for Colorado, I don't think it's about wins and losses with Deion Sanders. I think all the eyeballs that are coming in, they could go 4-8 again this year, and he's going to be just fine, because it's not about firing him. It's about, hey, we're still building something special, or however they end up spinning it.